Welcome to our deep relaxation class.
Aryom and Namaste. Welcome, everybody. My name is Bryan Nupp. I will be your facilitator for class today. Of course, you can always check out previous classes and this one by visiting our YouTube channel, Library CCPL. You can look at classes we had really since the COVID pandemic. We've been getting a really great wealth of free recorded content for you guys to keep coming back to and checking out. So without a lot more setup, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. Some things you might like to have for this evening's class. If you have a yoga strap or a band, you could also use a belt or a rolled up towel or blanket. And then if you have a couple of yoga blocks, we'll use those periodically through class as well. So kind of my intention for this particular deep relaxation offering was to have a really kind of grounded, chill class. I don't know where you're practicing from or viewing from, but here it's been so hot and so humid on this summer day. So it just feels like this is a great chance to sort of just check in with how we're feeling physically, emotionally, and mentally. So we'll start by just taking a moment to find a comfortable seat, and then we'll move into some hip opening sequences and grounding cooling sequences later. But put all that outside your mind. For now, we're just going to find that comfortable seat, whether it's seated on a cushion, pillow, or blanket, or if you're going to be seated directly on the floor, or if you're practicing from a chair somewhere. Just find the edge of that comfortable seat and gently let your eyes close. And when your eyes close, you can start to turn your attention to what's going on within you. You can start to take that first big deep breath on the mat and just let it go out your nose or mouth, doesn't matter. Just savor a few more of those big exhalations in this settling in phase. Just begin to observe your natural breath cadence, whatever your normal respiratory rate is, without trying to change it or lengthen it yet. Just observe it, listen to it, gather data from it. Now, our first breath practice we're going to move into is called Dirgha Svasana. It basically translates to a 3-part breath. So if you imagine that there was a pitcher or a container and you divided that equally into thirds, we'll use that as an analogy for the capacity of our diaphragm to take in fresh air and then expel old air and CO2. So you'll imagine that when you're pouring fresh liquid into a pitcher or cup, you're going to fill up that bottom third first. In this case, we're going to inhale and expand the very bottom part of our diaphragm. And we'll observe the effects of that by inhaling and just expanding our stomach. Imagine you are breathing with your belly button, and your belly button will press outward as you breathe in deeply. And then we'll just empty that bottom third with the belly button drawing in. Naturally, as you continue to fill that jug, pitcher, cup, you'll start to fill into the second third, which in this case will be up into the solar plexus and the middle of the chest. So breathing in, feel the belly expand, feel that tightness rushing up into the chest as you breathe into max capacity. And then exhale. Just practice feeling that first and second third. Naturally, the final third will just be your fullest breath in when you're ready to get there. And you'll just imagine that the air was inhaling and flowing all the way up to the collarbones, to the base of the throat, and maybe even overflowing out of the center of the head. So I want you to imagine breathing very deeply that way, just for the next minute or so. Your exhale will be the same way. You'll exhale from top to bottom, exhaling, emptying top third, middle third, bottom third, belly drawing in. You can do this with your hands resting in any comfortable position. Sometimes people like to place their hands on that first and second third, so you can really kind of feel the parts filling up and emptying. And while this is very grounding and relaxing to breathe this way, it can also be subtly energizing. Clarifying, maybe be even more accurate term. Just enjoy one more full 3-part breath in. And when you're ready, bring your hands to touch in front of the chest. We'll move through just a couple of brief seated warm-ups. First, I want you just to check in with your posture here. Have you started to slouch? Are your shoulders rounding forward? Or are you able to maintain that relaxed yet upright posture in your comfortable seat? So just check in with the shoulders, pull them back and down, reach the crown of the head long, and now just simply look over your right shoulder and just gently tuck the chin in, tilt the chin away and drop right ear to right shoulder, very gently. And slow motion, just nod yes off to the right side. And then slowly just turn the head and neck back to center. And then just go ahead and look over left shoulder, drop chin towards chest, and then left ear over towards left shoulder. Slow motion nod. Yes, over to the left side. Head and neck back to center. Go ahead and bring your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders and just start to make big circles with the elbows. Then go ahead and point the elbows forward and just reach the hands forward, palms face up, and then just simply bend at the elbows, hinging the elbows, tap the tops of shoulders. Go ahead and do that 8 more times. Keep breathing, keep your face and jaw relaxed. And after you finish that 8th touch, go ahead and just relax the hands down. Now just simply shrug the shoulders up, big breath in. Exhale, pull the shoulder blades together, relax them back and down. We'll do that 3 more times, big shrug. Exhale, pull the shoulder blades together, drawing the scapula together and back and down. One more big breath in with that shrug. Squeeze and hold. And then exhale, draw the shoulders back and down. Wonderful. Now we're going to go ahead and stretch our legs out in front. All right. And I want you to go ahead and just cross your right foot over top of your left leg. And we're just going to spend about 45 seconds on each side with a little foot massage. So you can just take your thumbs and kind of like you're kneading dough or playing with Play-Doh, just start to work out the arch of your foot. Feet are one of our best grounding mechanisms alongside our breath. The time we can give our feet some love. TLC, it's always a bonus. And then work your way back up to the ankle. And imagine you're kind of just like pinching and pulling off the back of the ankle and heel there, like where the Achilles tendon is. And then you're going to take your thumb, one or two thumbs, and you're just going to trace like a little crescent moon shape right around that knobby ankle bone. Might be a little bit tight in there. Your other hand can continue just to kind of squeeze and rub the foot. There's a couple different techniques. You can kind of just press and pulse like you were doing like a CPR on your foot in that area, right around the ankle bone in that little crescent moon shape, that little half circle. You could just gently rub with little circles. You kind of push and spread the skin around that area as well. All right, next thing for this right foot before we move on, just going to take each toe like you were just turning a little knob, just gently kind of twist and pull each toe. Say thank you to each toe. And then go ahead and just give your foot a couple slaps, give it a little rub, and go ahead and place it back down out in front. Notice how that other foot is vying for your attention. Go ahead and bring it in now. And just start about 15 seconds of just working the bottom of the foot, giving that arch a nice massage. And move your way back to the heel. You can kind of just pinch or pull on the heel a little bit. I like to use all my knuckles and kind of just like I'm just pulling off any stress or tension. And then start to work in that little semicircle, tracing that ball of the inside ankle bone there. Give yourself a nice little foot massage. And then finally, just make your way up to each toe. Just gently and kind of pull and twist on each toe there. All right, very good. Go ahead and place your feet out in front. Bring your legs together. All right, hips together, legs together, feet together. And we're just going to make some big circles with feet there. Try and keep your feet together. Try and go just a little slower than maybe you want to with this. And then reverse the direction. Now bring the feet back to center. And you're just going to try and pull the pinky toes out towards the edge and then just using the ankles, just round the soles of the feet in towards one another. Let's do that a few more times. Very good. Now we're going to make our way up to standing. Please take your time with the transition. And when you're ready, I'll meet you standing with my feet wide on top of my mat. If you need to grab a drink, please do so now. And if you have your yoga blocks, you can bring those face in front of you here. All right, last of our warm-ups, then we're going to get into a little bit of a standing sequence. Just make some big hip circles here. Just make about 8 or 9 in each direction. If you wish, you can keep the eyes closed or just gently let your eyes rest on a space on the floor. Good. Now, keeping your feet wide, we're going to inhale, bring our hands up and overhead. Turn the heels in slightly, toes turned out. And then just slowly hinge from your hips and bring your hands down to those blocks. Inhale up halfway up onto fingertips. And then when you're ready, go ahead and exhale and pull down a little deeper. You can even just cradle the elbows, keep a little bend in the knees. Let your head and neck relax here. Inhale up halfway. And again, exhale and fold. This time we're going to take a little twist up to the right. You can simply start by bringing your right hand to your right hip. Look over that right shoulder and maybe just let your twist end right here. If you wish, you can start to twist through the torso a little bit more, through the head and neck, and maybe reach that right hand up behind, or just rest the right hand on your lower back. When you're ready, bring that right hand back down to center. Inhale up halfway to reset. And then slowly twist to the left hand to left hip. Turn through the belly, the ribs, the chest, head and neck. Look over that left shoulder. You can stay right here, extend the left hand, or place the left hand on your back. Slowly come back to center. Lower the left hand down. Inhale, come all the way back up. Hands rise last. And bring your hands back to your hips. We're going to move into a couple of side lunges to keep stretching out our hamstrings and our groin muscles. So we're just going to bring a bend into one leg. Keep your pelvis scooped under, core engaged, spine long. Just take a little bend in one leg, other leg straight. With your exhalation, press back through center. And then inhale, repeat other side. Exhale back through center. Pressing down with the feet. I want you to imagine you're almost trying to pull your feet in towards one another. Just feel the action that creates that engagement in the legs. Do that one more time each side. Good. And this time I'm going to go ahead and turn my right foot out. Okay. I'm going to keep a little bend in this leg. I'm going to just make a minor adjustment to that back foot. I'm just going to turn my heel out. So I've got a heel to arch alignment here. All right. Again, core engaged, spine long, hands reach out over the horizon line for my warrior two pose. You can bring a little bit of a deeper bend if you wish. If you want to keep your hands on your hips, you can. And then just go ahead and turn your eye gaze to face forward, forward being the direction your right foot is pointed out in front. With that little bit of balance in this warrior two. Feel yourself grounding down through the feet. Feel that peaceful resolve of your inner warrior as you stand here in all of your strength. And at the same time, just finding a peaceful, sort of restful state while you're here. We're going to move into a reverse warrior next. We're going to press that left hand down, reach that right hand up and behind. And now we'll move into an extended side angle pose. You're going to keep this deep bend in the front leg, and we're going to reach this left hand over top, almost like a straight diagonal line from the left wrist to left heel. And then without putting all of your weight and sinking into this front arm, just gently let the right forearm make contact with the top of that right thigh. Press your hips gently forward, lengthen the side body, deepen that bend in the front leg slightly, and keep your shoulder blades pulling together. Eye gaze can look up at the left-hand thumb or down to the right big toe. Slowly come back up, warrior two. We're going to move through that sequence one more time, and this time just you're aware when we get to that point for extended side angle, I'll offer an option for hand to block. So you might like to move a block there now, and then just join us for a couple breaths in our warrior two one more time for this side. Inhale, reverse warrior, right hand reaching up in like a rainbow arch, left hand pressing down. Feel that right side body lengthen. Now slowly transition to extended side ankle, deep bend this front leg. Forearm makes contact with thigh or fingertips down to block. Left hand reaching on a diagonal plane. And then maybe reaching up and overhead. If it doesn't work for you to bring your hand to the block, just simply come back up, forearm to thigh. Take your time, come back up, warrior two. This time though, before you move right into your warrior two, we're gonna straighten this front leg, and I'm gonna walk my back foot in just about outside of shoulder distance here. So I've really narrowed my stance, probably like 6 to 8 inches. And I'm gonna bring my hands to my hips, and I'm just gonna gently shift my hips back, lower my right fingertips, maybe to the block. It's not really so important how far down I'm reaching this right hand. It could stay right here above the knee. And then I'm going to reach this left hand up for our triangle pose. So this front leg is mostly straight. It's not hyperextended straight. You can have a little bit of a bend, but we're pressing the hips to the wall or window behind us. And then I'm going to go ahead and slowly reach that left hand up. This is a really awesome hip stretch. Great for our psoas. Also nice side body lengthening pose. See if you can be here for 3 more slow, controlled breaths. Bring your left hand down to left hip. Bring a deep bend in the front leg. Inhale, come on back up. Turn the toes to come back to center. All right, so feet are parallel. Both sets of toes facing towards the camera. And then just bring a little bend in the knees. Hinge from the hips, hands down to blocks, floor, or just cradle the elbows. Slowly inhale back up, hands come up last. Exhale, hands touch in front of the chest. So we're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. I'm going to turn my left toes out. This is now the front left foot facing forward. I'm just going to make a little micro adjustment with this back leg. So I've got a heel to arch alignment. I'm going to bring that deep bend in the front leg. I'm going to reassess through the hips. All right, hips facing forward. I'm going to lengthen through the spine, engage in the core, and then reach my arms out to find that warrior two pose here. Slowly press your right hand back down behind you. Turn that left palm up. Find a nice reverse warrior as you deepen the bend in that front leg. And then slowly lower that left forearm down just to make contact with the top of that left leg. Slowly reach your right hand up and overhead. Press the hips gently forward and find that length in this extended side angle stretch. If you find yourself collapsing into that shoulder, just come up off of it using the strength of the core. Just gently make contact and then return. Stay here for one more breath in. And exhale back up into warrior two. Slowly inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, deepen that bend in the front leg. And then last time, if you wish, you can bring that block, fingertips to block for this last extended side angle. Trying to keep the core engaged. Nice. If you want, you can reach that right hand a little farther forward, up and over the head. Pull the shoulder blades together, open the chest. And when you're ready, slowly press back up, straighten that front leg, walk the back foot in just a little bit, and we'll prepare for our triangle stretch. So I want to just gently shift the hips back. I'm going to lower the right fingertips down above or below the knee. And then I'm going to find arms perpendicular to the floor. We're going to bend in that front leg. Inhale, rise. One last reverse warrior. Exhale, lower the hands. Turn the feet to face forward. And then when you're ready, we're going to come on down to sit on our mat with our legs extended out in front. If you have some blocks, you can bring those blocks underneath the knees. This will help serve you if you have tight hamstrings or any lower back issues. It'll just help relieve a little pressure out of the back. In addition, you can bring just a little blanket or something you can roll up just to kind of bring that little bit of tilt in through the pelvis and create a more stable foundation. Of course, these are all just different adaptations to a simple forward fold stretch here. You've also been encouraged to grab a strap. So if you want to really kind of work into this and be very mindful of the posture, especially through the back, you want to try to not round through the spine as much as possible. And that's where a strap can really come in handy. All right. We're going to inhale here in this tall position. And then just gently start to exhale just till we start to feel that. If I feel it in the back, I've gone a little too far, too fast. So I'm going to come back up. You can just gently walk your hands down the strap, keeping the back flat. And then you can just do this at your own pace. There's no one size fits all. You're going to have to kind of modify. Maybe you don't like the blocks, maybe you don't need them. Maybe the strap is a little bit cumbersome, or maybe you like the strap but not the blocks. All right, everyone's going to have a different range of motion here as well. So just be patient with yourself, all right, and just start to explore what that range of motion is today. It might not be the same as yesterday or the week before. It might not be the same as a year ago. But what is your range of motion here today? Just respect that, discover what it is, and just gently encourage it to improve. Let your face be relaxed, jaw unclenched, and trying to keep the spine long here, pressing down through the sitting bones, pressing through the heels. Just be here for about 30 more seconds. Just stick with your breath. You can even let the eyes close if you wish. And when you're ready, we're going to move into a figure 4 stretch. This will be one of our last stretches. This is a nice deep hip opener. I'm going to show it to you in 3 different levels. Okay. I'm going to show you the most restorative, relaxed kind of level first, and then build from there. So the most relaxed way you can approach this figure 4 hip opening stretch would be to lie down on your back with your feet on the floor. And you can simply cross. We'll start on the right side. You can cross your right leg over left. Kind of look at the bottom part of the shin will be just over the left knee. It's important to keep your right foot flexed, meaning toes engaged, pulling back towards the knee. That's going to kind of help maintain the integrity of this position with the legs. Lastly, to really increase the stretch, you could already be feeling it now. But to increase the stretch, we're going to press this right knee away from the body, just using the engagement and strength of the leg. All right, this is option 1. All right, should you like to build on that, you can come into option 2, hugging the left knee in towards the chest while you press that right knee away. This is really sufficient for most of the population. All right, but for those that just always want to push the envelope and go a little further, there is an option 3, okay, that we'll get into tonight. And that would be a version where you support yourself with the hands. All right. You're almost like in a reverse tabletop position, and then keeping your hips hovering above the ground. So you're really taking a lot of weight through the hands here. And then you're just sitting down into this figure 4 stretch. And this is definitely really intense. On any given day, this might be a little too intense for most people. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds in this stretch. Just push through by breathing deeply. Of course, if there's anything that is sharp or shooting and painful, please very slowly come out of the stretch. And just lie on your back with your knees in towards your chest. When you're ready, you can lower the feet down, gently uncross the legs, and then go ahead and get ready for the other side. As I've already sort of instructed you, you should be familiar and able to do this on the other side. It could be totally different. So I'll still encourage you, if you opted for options 2 or 3, still move into option 1 first. See how that feels before adding onto it or increasing the stretch. When you're ready, you can uncross the legs, set the feet back down, and then go ahead and just hug both knees in towards the chest for one final little stretch through the lower back. We'll close our practice with a lying down twist. From this position, you can bring the arms out into a T shape. You can scoot your hips over to one side and then drop them to the other side. For example, I'm going to pick up my hips and scooch them to the right, and then mindfully lower my knees down to the left. Eye gaze can turn and look over right shoulder to complete this stretch. Take your time, come back through center, square off the hips, and then gently scooch them over to the left so the knees can lower down to the right. Eye gaze can turn and look over that left shoulder to complete the stretch. Slowly bring your knees back to center, re-square the hips, and then go ahead and just extend the legs long. Let the arms rest long by your side. pick up each limb individually and gently set it down. And then just slowly turn the head and neck side to side. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale like you're blowing out a candle through your mouth. We'll do that twice more. Big breath in through the nose. And out the mouth. Last time. Find your final resting pose here in Savasana. We'll close our class. Just relax as you breathe in through the nose, out the nose, or mouth. Let your face relax. Your shoulders relax. Let this wave of relaxation just wash down over you now. As your limbs grow heavy, lungs stay open. Maybe even just finding a little smile on your face while you rest here. When you're ready, you can take a nice full body stretch, reaching your hands up and over your head, pointing through the toes. And then go and just curl up into a little ball, rest on one side. When you're ready, you can take your time and join me in a comfortable seated position. Just take a moment to reflect on something that you're grateful for, something or someone. Just take a moment to send a little positive energy or a prayer to that person. Thank them for their role in your life or for whatever it is you're sharing your thanks. And then let your head bow down towards your heart. Om Shanti, 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 Shalom. Peace, peace, may peace go with you. And thank you for sharing your time